Итак, всем привет, дорогие друзья, с вами Дарил, вы на GamesRoomTV, и сегодня мы продолжаем, а точнее даже заканчиваем проходить дополнение ко второму Call of Duty под названием Big Red One. И именно у нас осталась уже последняя миссия, выбрать главу, и вот, собственно говоря, вот такой вот мы путь прошли, состоящий, так сказать, из 10, 11, 12 глав. Да, и вот последняя, 13-я, зубы дракона, к которой мы, наверное, приступаем. Думаю, сегодня завершим и напоследок посмотрим именно все те плюшки, которые давались в вот этом вот коллекционном издании, так сказать. А именно там всякие дополнительные видеоматериалы и так далее. Ну, в общем-то, потом посмотрим. А сейчас начинаем. Германия, 45-й год, 19 января.
It's more than likely the Germans will have set up a roadblock ahead, so we'll move through the forest and hook up with Abel.
Так, ну что ж, вперед. В общем-то, даже приблизительно не знаю, сколько будет длиться эта миссия, сколько времени она займет. Ух ты ж, блин. Так, друг. Еще один. Готов. Ух ты ж, блин. Еще один подбежал. Вот пулемет самое главное выносить, а те с автоматами особо так-то. Ух ты ж. Прям даже не ныкаются нигде. Стоят такие впрямую. Так, пулемет, ребята. Еще пока наведешь на него. Да ну как так? Во. Готов. Отлично. Так, заходим вовнутрь. Даже вот так вот, наверное, делаем. Кто тут у нас? Здравствуйте. Надеюсь, граната кого-то задела. Отлично, -1. Ух, еще сбоку козел примыкался такой стоит, типа. Отлично. Давайте вот так вот сразу сделаем. Сразу патрончиков наберется. Ого-го. Тут у нас что? Аптечечка, она нам мне не нужна. И там вообще ничего. Все, продолжаем. Куда-то сюда нам нужно. Давайте сюда, наверное, проникнемся. Так, голова вижу. Сидит он. Вообще уже. Еще один. Ух ты, не один. То ё-моё. Это он откуда там через шкафы палит? Точнее, не шкафы, а ящики. Готов. Да? Да. Оп. Ух ты ж, блин. Я типа стрелял и такой отвернулся, типа, это не я. Так, тут у нас сверху никого, да? Отлично. Братаны, я иду. Вот, блин. Отлично.
I might actually make it home from this lousy war. Incoming! Flank cover! Get out of there!
Ох, ни хрена его подкинуло. Бруклин, бро. Черт, в атаку! Минус Бруклин. Тук. Ох, ни хрена там что-то. Ни хрена не вижу, честно говоря. Но вижу птичку. Блин, Бруклин, обидно-то как. В Германии тут просто под обстрел попал. Просто под обстрел. Там никого. А, стреляет. Я еще один подбежал. Так. Ну, давай, вылазь, вылазь. Я же видел тебя там. Отлично. Вот тут уже мои сидят. Он аж через перец выпал. Так, еще тут кто-то остался. Ай. Да ё-моё, сколько вас там? Ну, теперь я думаю, все. Автомат такой приклеенный остался. Так, быстренько перебегаем. Так. Ты ж, блин. О, наша тут стоит движухой. Ай. Ах ты ж. Сволочь. Сзади такой обошел меня. Так, ладно, этот пулемет. Сейчас мы отсюда. Ай. Ох, тихо, тихо, тихо. Поднимемся. Отлично. Просто отлично. Тут у нас большая аптечка, которая весьма вовремя тут лежит. И еще бы маленькая не помешала бы. Так, приныкался он, ты смотри. Вот и маленькая аптечка организовалась. Как чувствовал, что сейчас кто-то тут будет. О, еще один там, пацаны. Ой, там не один, там их двое еще. Ребят, ребят, ребят. Отлично. Как-то они так на приседях зашли. А, вижу, вижу, ребят. И еще один. Отлично. Ты смотри, стреляет, он там сидит. С другой стороны, да. Ох, вы ж позаныкались. Да как? Хорошо. Что-то вот я жаловался постоянно, что аптечек сильно много в миссиях раскидано, но вот в этой миссии действительно аптечек столько, сколько нужно, то есть мне постоянно их не хватает. Да, вот с начала миссии мне все не хватает и не хватает аптечек. Так, побежал. Тут. Вот видите, поза углами всякими сидит. Немец. Фашист. Даже так скажем. Так, тут наш побежал где-то, я видел. Блин, чувак. О, ну хоть встал. Хоть я его не убил. Ой, там уже наш сражается. На всякий случай. Если кто-то рядом был. А, ну походу здесь не было. Ну или уже трупы успели пропасть. Одно из двух. Так, куда нам дальше? Ух, ты ж тут как выскочили. Как выскочили-то. Нежданчиком. О, большая аптечка. Хорошо. Вот ее теперь хватило. Ой-ой-ой, 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 ребят, вот только свои не попадайте под мою линию огня. Блин, чувак, отходи туда. О, и наш еще жив остался. Оу. Вот это прилет. Так, ну мне, кстати говоря, на улицу. Эту таптичку вижу. Так, она мне не нужна или нужна? Подобрать, подобрать. Ладно. Нафиг. Побежали. Ух ты, блин. А тут прилететь может отовсюду. Так, -1. Там, судя по всему, тоже есть, да? То есть, смотри, наши туда прям полили. Сверху примыкались. А тут подозрительно пусто. Там вот я вижу одного, да? Так, откуда? Откуда-то палят. Палят, да палят. А, ух, нифига себе их там. Оу. Так. Отлично. Вот он на острове. Отлично. Так, мне, собственно говоря, наверное, туда. Вон там какая-то ракета, вижу, стоит. Или что это такое? А вот тут прям на мосту хорошо так укрепились. Ух ты ж, блин, там самолеты тут летает туда-сюда, заскриптовано, наверное. Я пока подошел, он уже и туда, и сюда успел 2 раза смотаться. Так, побежали, 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 побежали. Ох ты ж, блин. Ух ты ж, блин. Этот самолет тут не пролетел. Так, -2. Как огонь расходится по потолочкам. Что у нас тут у них? Патрончики. И тут у нас, по идее, сейчас будет сразу 2. Да, вот он пулемет. И вон он пулемет. Отлично. О, тут уже и наши подоспели. О, бежит. И еще один. Друзья-то. О, еще один. Они там что? Бесконечно? Рыскаться за углом. А точнее за холмом. Так, тут еще один не вижу. О, мне, кстати, надо заминировать. И тут. И тут. А, туда? Иду, 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 иду. Ну, добейте его, что ли.
Signal, Smith. Here they come! Wait for it. Wait for it. Now!
Отличненько.
On your feet, gentlemen.
There's our armor! Schmitty, we did it!
Ha-ha!
I
Outstanding.
think we got them all. Look!
Наши.
Go, go, go!
Или это наши? Были все, кто остался, да? 4 человека.
Damn fine
Остальные
job,
погибли.
Sergeant. You do this division proud.
И на этом, вон, бонусные материалы открыты. И на этом, в принципе, конец миссии. Что ж, давайте посмотрим, что будет сейчас. А сейчас, наверное, ничего не будет, да? Титры или нет? Или сразу в меню выплюнет? Ага, видео. Смотрим видео.
By August of 1944, following their success over the merciless German defenders on Omaha Beach, the division advances an average of 20 miles a day and eventually make their way to Germany's doorstep. Reaching the heavily fortified Siegfried Line on September 12th, the division crosses into Germany for the first time. In brutal house-to-house fighting, they capture Aachen on October 21st, the first German city to fall. That winter, in an act of desperation, Germany launches a massive offensive in the Ardennes, and the Big Red One is tasked with holding the line in what would later be known as the Battle of the Bulge. Eventually fighting their way back into Germany by January of 1944, they cross the Rhine River and continue to advance across Germany. The division finds itself in Czechoslovakia on May 8, 1945, when the war in Europe is finally over as Germany surrenders. In 443 days of combat, the division had suffered over 20,000 casualties. By the war's end, they had taken more than 100,000 prisoners and received 16 medals of honor, as well as the distinction of being America's most accomplished fighting division of the Second World War. From the early battles in the deserts of North Africa to the rolling hillsides of Sicily and into the darkest days of occupied France, the members of the Big Red One have been ordinary soldiers tasked with truly extraordinary deeds. Their commitment to success at all costs is reflected in their motto: no mission too difficult, no sacrifice too great, duty first.
Duty first. Ну, в общем-то, да, пока пошли титры, хочу сказать, наверное, парочку слов о самой игре, поскольку игра получилась действительно, не знаю, наверное, до этого момента она одна из лучших. По сути, даже и сейчас, если брать вот современную линейку, да, игр, которая выходила после Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, вот, она выглядит очень-очень даже достойно, наверное. Самая любимая моя останется вторая часть, потом идет Modern Warfare, и следующая именно вот эта вот, которая, она выходила как будто дополнение ко второму Call of Duty, а не отдельная, как бы, новая часть, но тем не менее она выше много в чем, так сказать. Она выше в том, что здесь как бы уже собрали такую типа компанию, которая от начала и до конца вместе друг за друга там сражаются, прикрывают друг друга, 5-10, друзей убивают, мы это все чувствуем на своей шкуре, и вот осталось нас как бы 4 человека из 7 или 8 нас было в начале игры, да? Последнего вот Бруклина убили в начале, точнее под конец этой миссии, вот, и она и сюжетно как бы выше, да? Она выше в кинематографичном плане. И, в общем-то, спасибо реально ребятам из... Кто это делал? Grey Matter Interactive, наверное, вместе с Триарком. Вот. Отличная работа проделана. Отличная, огромная работа проделана. Вот. И я считаю, что, наверное, в нее стоит поиграть, если у вас как бы есть консолька или есть достаточно мощный компьютер для того, чтобы запустить ее на эмуляторе. И спасибо, конечно же, и Сане за то, что он меня вот это все время пускал за свой комп, такой: ну ладно, давай приходи. Я только приходил и начинал записывать эти видео. Вот. И, наверное, в конце, поскольку мы играем в коллекционное, так сказать, издание, там типа collections editor какой-то, и типа в конце нам доступны видео, документальные видео так сказать, разработки игры, какие-то там концепт-арты и так далее и тому подобное. И поэтому я, наверное, на этом буду прощаться, а тем, кому интересно все это дальше, я просто полистаю, все это запишу, но как бы без особых комментариев. Вот, все это дело будет. Вот, но покажу все, что мы открыли, а я думаю, что оно там все открылось купой. Ну, типа прошли игру и все это взяло и сразу открылось. Там не открывалось оно по отдельности за какую-нибудь миссию и так далее. Вот. Так что все, на этом в принципе. С вами был Дэрил, вы были на GamesRoomTV, подписывайтесь на канал. Ставьте лайки, смотрите другие видео, остальные прохождения Call of Duty, которые выходили до этого, они у меня все есть. Вот. А я, наверное, буду на этом прощаться. Действительно. Так что добавлю, наверное, в конце я все-таки ссылочки на первый Call of Duty, второй, на 2 дополнения к первому. И на этом все. До скорых встреч и пока-пока.
Listen, I got a lot of wounded to take care of down here. You better find a weapon quick and hook up with the Sarge.
Throw a grenade, let's go!
Just past the gate! In those trees!
One of the hallmarks of the Call of Duty franchise is historical authenticity, and we take that very seriously, and that goes everything from guns to vehicles to the missions to the voiceover. So, I started putting out a casting call for voices like James Matteo.
They wanted someone who was very similar to my voice. And I was like, well, I'm not working at the moment.
Jimmy Matteo calls me. He says,
Hey, we're gonna do voice for a World War II game. You wanna...
and that's my spot-on Jimmy Matteo imitation.
I had told him, reach out to all the other Band of Brothers guys because we stick together and see what they want to do. And everybody, raised their hand like they should have and said, I'm in.
I've done my research to work on this game, but these guys for the Band of Brothers spent 10 months over in England. They had to actually go through boot camp, 3 weeks of boot camp.
We call it actor boot camp because we don't want to take anything away from the people who really served.
It was almost like having a VO actor who is a military advisor, and it was like a windfall for us.
It's fun doing it with the same guys, so we already have that camaraderie, connection that we've had there, so it's a lot of fun.
The game emulates exactly what we learned to be the real scenarios of World War II, about tactics, about maneuvers, about weapon operation, and the topography of the areas we were shooting in. And that's what's so impressive about it, because it looks like you're at a window participating in the actual events.
This is my first time doing mocap work. Never experienced being in a sausage suit. Kind of makes you really self-conscious, but after you see what the product is, it's a lot of fun.
One of the real great things about doing motion capture as a group is interaction, connection. They can actually touch each other, they can move, they can grab each other's arms, You actually have whoever is playing this character in the game, that character throughout the entire game will have that actor's personality, and you don't get that off of using a straight traditional motion capture artist. So what you're seeing in the game is an exact copy of an actual human's motions, and in that case, you don't get anything more lifelike.
They were doing a scene on a boat, and it's rocking in. At the end of the scene, Jimmy is sitting down, and Jimmy's like, ah! My ass is stuck!
We put so much of our heart into this game, which is so dynamic, and to see the actors themselves and really getting into it just means that we're going to get that much more intensity out of that when we get it into the game. It's great to see.
Plus, it's just fun to yell. We don't get to scream a lot in our normal lives, so it's just great to go into a small room and just lose your mind.
Grenade!
My grandfather was actually a decorated colonel for World War II, ran an Air Force base. I grew up with a real sense of reverence for these people.
They're all individuals. They all had names, families. Became very personal.
The willingness these guys had to put themselves in the line of fire for what they consider to be the greater good of not just America, but of all the free world. It's the kind of characteristic in a human being that you're just you're stunned to come in contact with.
Big Red One is the 1st Infantry Division, which I'm very proud to have served with. The name actually comes from the patch that emanated from World War I, where just a piece of German's hat material was hung on the shoulder of the soldier, and that started with the Big Red One.
The other units in the European theater disliked the 1st Infantry Division because the first thought that they were the #1 and the best, and this was brought about by our generals. Brigadier General Teddy Roosevelt used to tell all the generals, there's only one division in this damn army, that's the 1st Division. The motto of the Big Red One is no mission too difficult, no sacrifice too great, duty first. And they mean it. We had guys in the outfit, 24, 26. They had been through Africa and Sicily. They were seasoned veterans. I got a nickname, Yak Yak. I don't know why. You know, way us Irish guys are from Boston.
I think I was the funniest one in the squad. I felt it was my responsibility to my platoon to keep morale up.
I spent a lot of time Big Red One. I made a lot of friends.
We buddied together. We had a lot of good times together. It's been over 60 years, you know, a lot of names just fade out. But his name will never fade out, obviously, because he saved my life, you know.
You rely on that guy on the right and left. This stuff about apple pie and mother and, you know, the country, that's baloney. You soldiered because you didn't want to leave your buddies. You didn't want to make your buddies ashamed of you.
It was a regular Army unit. It was well-trained, well-organized. They met their baptism of fire in North Africa, and it just built from there. They had a pretty bad reputation as being pretty tough guys, but they were fighters.
I had been in the Army a year. I went in 43, and when I joined the 1st Division, I already been in a year, private first class. And the guys from Sicily and Africa were very standoffish, and I found out why. They don't want to annoy you because you get whacked, they get a friendship, and I understood that because these guys had been through Africa and Sicily. There were so many replacements for the casualties they had in Sicily.
When we were making the attack at Beja in North Africa, we got into the cactus fence that surrounded the farm. When the Germans opened up us, they sucked us in. It was an ambush, really. When I got back to the company area, I found that I had taken a number of bullets through the back of my back and had never even known it.
That was one of the roughest battles that we had in Sicily. Behind me, 2 Italian soldiers came, and they had their guns leveled out right at my stomach. See? But I didn't panic. I said, Al, come here and talk to these guys. What the hell do you want me to say? I said, well, tell them that they got no place, no future here, and so forth. So finally, the Italian soldiers said, all right, we'll surrender.
I joined the 2nd platoon. I was a rifleman. And there was relatively few people in the platoon. And I asked one of the combat veterans, I said, where is everybody? He said, oh, they're all dead or they're in a hospital someplace. He said, you got yourself in a wrong outfit.
On D-Day, I was the last-minute replacement, so I never trained like God bless these fellas did. Thank God I was with some seasoned men as the first had from North Africa and Sicily, because they actually gave me the courage to be with them. It was in a way, too, it was a proud moment. When the coxswain dropped the ramp and the first fellas off got killed instantly. And somebody yelled over the side, and I went over the side, and I lost everything I had. So I was over my head, and I started to swim in. I think if you ever saw the movie Private Ryan. It depicts it exactly what it was with the bullets hitting, the sound of those bullets hitting the water all around you.
Trying to get out of the water, I made it up almost to the shale wall, and I got hit with some shrapnel, knocked me down. Of course, the rules were you don't stop for anybody. So the other guys were running right by me, you know, and the fire was just completely intense. I got belted 4 or 5 times, and the tide is coming in, and this is hard to talk about, believe me. And I'm going to drown. And I'm trying to keep my head out of the water because it's coming right over my head, you know. Finally, somebody came down from this shale area. Turned out it was my buddy, you know, and he couldn't budge me. And he came down on the fire, too. He went back, and they got another guy from Chicago. And he came down, and they cut my jacket off with a trench knife. I survived because of him when a lot of my good friends were killed.
The only thing that saved me was we had galoshes on, and the combat boots had a leather strap down here. It was a mine went off and blew sideways, and the leather was what stopped it. And I didn't even know I was wounded because it was so damn cold. The blood froze, and after we got off the hill, I said, "What the hell's this liquid?" And I looked down at my ankle, and my ankle was all cut up with shell fragments.
Out of nowhere comes these Germans. I used my M1 rifle. I had the bayonet on it because I was digging, trying to chop a hole. And I went off with 8 rounds, and I got some of them, and next thing this one was up, this fellow was almost on top of me. And I guess it was instinct. He swung his rifle at me, and I got him with my bayonet. And to this day, that haunts me. It's an awful way to die. And that's something I always have to live with.
I got called back in that afternoon, and they sent word that he wanted to see me, and I thought, well, what am I going to get this time? And he told me to pack my barracks bag. I was going home. And I had a 45-day furlough. And I hit Kansas City on the VE day, and it wasn't safe on the streets in Kansas City on VE day because everybody wanted to buy you a drink.
I'm Dan Kopel, lead designer for the multiplayer part of Big Red 1. This map is Kasserine. It represents a small village outside the Kasserine Pass where the U.S. was trying to pinch the Germans, the axis between the British and the Americans, and they were moving east. They set up in the villages, and then the Germans decided to counterattack. This is the first time that the U.S. forces actually got to fight regular German infantry, and the first time that they fought Rommel.
This is Alexander Conserva. I'm a programmer on multiplayer. This map is great because it's a night map. I'm kind of partial to night maps myself. I think they just look really cool. And it gives you a lot of opportunities to hide in the shadow.
Yeah, one of the nice things about this map is all the different routes. There's obviously one main route, the road through the town, but going through the buildings and stuff like that, there's just an enormous amount of different pathways you can take, so you can come up and attack them from many different sides. So even though the defenders can get there first to defend the area, getting the attackers in there, coming up, they don't know which way you're coming from. So your element of surprise is definitely on the attacker's point of view. The neatest things about this being a night map, in the actual single player game, this is a daytime, a dawn map, and we decided for the multiplayer that when we brought it over for multiplayer, we wanted to do this as a night map. And as soon as we did that, we just fell in love with it. Actually considered changing the single-player game, but then we decided that probably wouldn't be too wise.
Yeah, I think this map's also unique in that, unlike a lot of the other missions where they're more of a traditional Western European architecture. This has got a very different feel to it, a feel that not a lot of people are really used to.
Yeah, for the architecture, we did a lot of research trying to make sure that it felt authentic, that it felt like an authentic Tunisian village, especially outside around the area of Kasserine. So yeah, we went and got a lot of footage off the net and other places to actually get a good feel of what buildings and villages look in this area of the world.
When people first start playing this map, they really think because of the big broad avenue that runs pretty much through that's the focal point of the whole map really. They think that the tanks really have the advantage, but after you start playing this map for a little while, you find that the tanks are almost at a disadvantage because it's so easy to hide in the dark and to let the tank roll by and then just to blow it up once it's gone by that a lot of times you find people not even jumping in the tanks.
Well, that's the difference between a unit that works together and can have infantry support for the tanks. I mean, and that's something that's great about Call of Duty, in the fact that that kind of feeling comes out, that a tank isn't that overpowering, and like reality, when tanks would go into villages all by themselves, they get torn apart pretty quickly, and you need your infantry support to find those guys hiding in the back of buildings.
The best part of being part of Call of Duty 2 is the fact that you're working on Call of Duty 2. It's an incredible opportunity. It's an awesome game, and I'm really lucky. The team that we work with is the Navy SEAL team of video games. We just have an incredible talent pool.
Working on this game is kind of a dream come true for me, because when I was a little kid, I used to look through all the books and watch all the movies, and now I'm actually the guy kind of making these events that I read about come to life.
To create the next chapter in the highly successful Call of Duty series, Activision brought two expert teams together. Treyarch, makers of the Spider-Man games, brought an expertise in console development. Grey Matter, developers of Return to Castle Wolfenstein and Call of Duty United Offensive, brought to the table award-winning first-person shooter experience for the PC.
Some person had the wisdom over at Activision to go, I see a great combination here. Part of a video game is trying to give people a wide variety of encounters and places to actually fight. But we wanted to also keep with one team, one set of individuals that fought through a whole bunch of experiences.
The Big Red One is the 1st Infantry Division. They were considered to be the top-notch fighters. They're at the forefront of pretty much every major military action in the Second World War.
In the design process, the team did extensive research, including travel to the 1st Division Museum.
We actually found out that there's an actual Big Red One museum with a built-in historian who was willing to help us. And so we had a lot of detail that we could draw out of that and sprinkle throughout the game to really give it more authenticity. Even like down to the time of day, the type of weather that was happening on that particular battle, that kind of stuff.
One of the cool things about Big Red One are the details, the small details that people might not notice. When we were doing the initial design for this level, we were looking through pictures and we got the city of Troina and we're setting maps up, and one of us goes, what the heck is that in there? I think it looks like a live volcano. Sure enough, a little research, there was a live volcano that was going off. So quick trip to the art department. Now in that level, we've got this big volcano in the distance going off.
We try to get as accurate as possible. One of the perfect examples is the weapons. Our weapons guy would bring in MP40s, would bring in MP44s into the office. Pretty scary sometimes.
We actually had the opportunity to go out to Las Vegas to fire the weapons, which was really cool.
We have various mics placed all around the entire range. We have stuff here, we have stereo pairs, and we have another DAT out there just floating, so hopefully we won't shoot it.
Apparently these are pretty rare weapons. I've got a few friends in the movie sound post-production business who worked on a lot of the big films, and so far as I can tell, nobody has the French and Italian stuff that we're going to be recording today.
One of the gun handlers actually gave me the opportunity to test a theory. We fire light machine guns from the hip. Basically, you can run around and fire this machine gun that's mostly designed to be fired from a bipod or a fixed position. So we wanted to test the theory, and we fired it much the same way that the Marines actually would have fired it on beachheads in World War II. It looked like a scene from a movie. I mean, it was really cool.
One of the things we try to do to create an authentic feel is to have other things going on around the player other than what he and his squad are experiencing at the time. So you may look down an alley and see, some of your friendly forces, going into a house or taking it out. The reason we really emphasize on the squad is because we really wanted to have the same feeling for the player that they would get, say, watching Band of Brothers or Saving Private Ryan. We really wanted you to go through this game feeling like that you were experiencing the events with a group of people who you get to know.
Early on, what we've done is we've had the characters be clean-shaven, in very clean, tight, neat uniforms. And actually later in the game, you'll notice that they have facial hair, that they're dirty uniforms, that the way they speak, everything looks like they've been through a war. So you can actually see the progression in the characters that you're fighting with as they've gone through the battle too.
From characters to animation, audio to game design, over 250,000 man-hours went into creating the immersive experience that is Call of Duty 2: Big Red 1.